What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, the like button, turn on the post notifications, follow me on Instagram. We're almost at 10K subs. So as you can see by the title of the thumbnail, yes, we're getting rid of these stock paddles here. Swapped them out for the extended ones you guys will see in just a moment. We're gonna head over to Daniel's house to get these installed. Can't wait to see them. It's gonna complement the steering wheel and everything else really well that's going on here with the steering wheel. We got the trim here, we got the steering wheel, we got the M1, M2, we got the start stop button. It's just gonna give it a nicer touch. All right, so for this process, guys, so you gotta disconnect the battery, take out the airbag. Steering wheel comes off, right? Just like everything, it's a whole process.
That's right. Like everybody says, just because we're gonna have to remove the airbag,
yeah,
you want to make sure that you disconnect the battery. Just, it's always the negative. Just set it to the side, and then you'll be good to go. What
happens if we don't remove the battery? I mean, disconnect.
Get ready for a nice airbag to deploy your face.
All right, guys, there it is. Carbon fiber paddle shifters, gloss carbon to match the interior, with the red buttons, a little plus and minus here. It's gonna complement the red interior, all the M1, M2. It's gonna look really nice. Look, guys, Daniel's watching my vlogs on his TV here in the garage with the M's. Hey, if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you guys go watch it. So this is the stock paddle.
Right.
So in order for you to actually take off the paddle, what do you have to do?
It's a simple process. It's not too hard or difficult. All you have to do is just push this pin out. Once you push it out with a push pin, then you just kind of lay it out, lay it flat. Now you have to be careful because there's a little spring in here, so you don't want it to bounce out. So you just want to lift it up very gently to prevent anything from falling out or just dropping anything. You want to be careful with these little clips right here. They hold these by pressure, but you don't want to push too far back because they are very delicate and they can break. It's made out of plastic, so as you can see, this one is nicely intact. We took it out very nicely, so just be careful with these little clips. Get it? It's so made to fit like a glove. I mean, you know, you just slide it on.
Nice.
Get it?
Fits perfect, huh?
It does. It's like a nice factory fitting.
So with that little spring, it should clip right back in with that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. It snaps all into place.
Correct.
Nice. Damn, that looks good. Extended paddles.
The right side paddle has a little more intricacy as far as removing it. So one of the things that I've noticed is that many YouTubers or installers, what they do is when it comes onto this paddle, you can actually replace it from this side right here. You don't need that much room. It actually gives you have enough room to do the install. The only thing that you just have to be aware of is just being careful not to pull on the wires, or just not let it hang for too long. You know, like just being really careful.
So this is the other paddle, right?
This is the other one, and again, just be patient. You know, it won't come off easily, but as long as you're patient and careful, everything's gonna come off intact and nothing's gonna break. So again, patience.
There's the stock paddles, guys. Look how small these little paddle shifters are. Look at the difference. Look how much longer these are compared to the stock ones.
So now we have our paddle ready to put back together. And again, just patience. Everything is still here, as you can see. Just be very patient, and this should just be just a few minutes. It doesn't take too long.
An easy install, huh? Alright guys, paddle shifters are in. What are your guys' thoughts? We got the nice extended paddle feel here. It feels super good, clicks easy, feels like OE. Nice little touch. Alright guys, paddles feel way better. Have so much more room to grab. You can shift. Stock ones were like cut up to like right here. These feel way better. As you can see, we're in the E92 M3 right now. About to meet up with the homie Ares. You guys know Ares, the convertible. He's finally doing his rod bearings after 135,000 miles. 135,000 miles, like daily driven, launch control, red line, you name it, revving it, tuned, all that stuff. flames and pops and all that stuff. So one of the reasons why he's doing the rod bearings so late is well, not only so late, but because he plans to supercharge his M3. So, and if you guys know that if you guys like want to supercharge your M3, one of the main things you guys have to do is upgrade the rod bearings for sure, because that puts a lot more stress into the engine. And so he plans to supercharge the M3, but he also wants it for a peace of mind as well. So even if he doesn't supercharge it, he's still gonna get the rod bearings done and out of the way. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull up in the E9X. I just feel like driving the E92. It feels so good to drive the E92 M3 after, you know, driving the F80 so much. I decided to give it a little break and just hop into the E92 M3. This is what I love about the E92s. It just sounds so freaking good. Damn, G. Yeah. I don't even know where's it at.
You have to take the entire subframe down. This is the subframe. That's like the chassis of the car. That's like the frame of the car. So they have to drop it down.
You excited?
Can't wait to see the bearings.
Bro, 135,000 miles, dude.
On the clock. And I made it to the shop.
Over 100,000 miles, and you drove 35,000 more.
Yeah.
Daily driven.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Shit out of it too, don't forget.
I know. Launch control, all this crazy stuff. That's crazy, bro. So it's somewhere, where is it? It's like somewhere in here, no?
Okay, the rod bearing is basically supposed to be here. This is the oil pan. They have to completely drain the oil, and then they're gonna take off the oil pan, and then you're gonna see the bearings and everything.
So you got the ARP bolts, race performance engine bearings.
Those are the best ones. They have two different types. This is the Age-X. They have Age and they have Age-X. Age-X is the best one.
So this is the best bearings you can get.
Yeah, it's got extra coating and stuff.
Damn. Can you believe these little shits is the ones that ruin our motor? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to see what yours look like when they're off.
I can't wait to see it.
Dude, I'm dying to see it. I'm sure everybody's dying to see it too.
Put special lube on it. Red line.
Nice.
You gotta put the red line special lube. Yeah.
Ooh, look at that exhaust, bro. Nice.
Babies.
You love this exhaust, huh?
Favorite exhaust setup ever.
Damn, there's dripping down in Gucci today.
Yeah.
So you got the axle back, and then these would be your resonators.
Yeah, resonators.
This would be your secondary cats, and these would be your primaries up here.
I think it's the X pipe. No, which
So
one is the
so
X
you
pipe?
don't have secondaries.
No.
But you kept your resonators on.
Yeah.
Bro, and it's loud as hell. Imagine if you were to remove the resonators.
Fuck, dude. That would be.
That'd be a sick vlog.
Yeah.
Dang, look at all the times that this lip has been beaten. Are you gonna get a new one?
Yeah.
Is this lip for sale?
Yeah.
This is super nerve-wracking. You feel scared?
No.
Agarra el recopiño, lo vamos a meter para acá para que quede arriba. O sea, vamos a zampar. Aquí está agarrando esta puta maderita. No por eso quede pegado ahí.
Now we're preparing the oil pan to its new oil pan gasket. And soon they're gonna put the oil pan back into its spot right over here, right underneath the rod bearings. Day number 2, guys. Closing everything today. The rod bearings are in perfectly. Now it's time to put back all the chassis back into its place, and the oil pan back in its place right here.
Alright guys, so right now we left Ayers while they were doing his rod bearings. We are going to get an oil change in the E92 M3. Even though I don't drive it as often, it's still good to do the oil change. I haven't had one in exactly about 5,000 miles, so I usually do these oil changes every 3,000 miles, 4,000 or 5,000 max. But if you guys have an E92 M3 you guys want to know when to do your oil changes and to keep the rod bearings fresh, always make sure to do them no more than at least 5,000 miles max. Also, if you guys are wondering what kind of oil I'm going with, I always go with the OEM, whatever the dealer recommends, which is Castrol 10W60. I know a lot of you guys use Motul, Redline, or Liquid Moly. I just stick with Castrol, and that's all I've used on this car. So. Damn, they got an E90 M3. Look at this Porsche. This is Danny's Porsche. Another E92. And they got an E90 back there. Damn, they're full of M3s today. Compact. Oof. E90 LCI on T's. Oh, with red interior. Damn. Ayers, you just did the rod bearings.
I gave it 100 miles before.
No, bro, you have to wait 1,200 miles.
No, you don't. Show me where. Where does
Bro,
it show
you can't rev it and floor it yet. Oh my